October 8th, 2025, and it's 2 o'clock, and we're here to discuss shift differential pay, holiday pay, and determine admin holidays hours. And this is kind of a ongoing from the last time, so we'll go ahead and turn it over to our clerk.
Well, we just needed what a day is. The
what
number
a day
of hours.
Was it 8 hours?
You got it. However you want it, 8, 10, 12. Okay. We just have to, it's got to be fair across the board.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why we brought everybody else in, because you guys do 12 hours or do 10 hours, and everybody else does 8 hours.
And we have, and 10. We have some that do 10-hour days.
Okay, is it Rhodes does 10?
For us, so we're half the year 10s, half the year 8s. As far as like holidays, bereavement, admin days, we've always recognized those days as 8 hours, even if we're on 10s. That's how it's been, at least since I've been with the department.
Okay, so they're 8 hours, and so if you get 10, you have to add in 2.
You have to add in 2 or else opt to take it unpaid.
Okay.
Just like Jerry.
Yes.
Okay.
Doing that 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Which
you guys are doing it differently, so why is it different? Why
We're
we?
not doing it different.
No,
we're
not doing that differently.
We're not doing that different.
So okay, well I thought you said
they get 8 hour holiday.
8 hour.
8 hours, but if they work it, they get whatever they worked.
Okay. So what was the issue? Because we thought somebody was different. Is what I was been told.
Well,
When it's admin,
I don't have it in front of me, but there are some departments that are doing 10 hours or 12 hours. I don't know exactly who it is now, because that was 2 weeks.
So when someone gets admin day from the sheriff or whatever, for whatever reason, they get full pay of what their shift would have been. But as far as the holiday, which you guys give us Christmas or anything like that,
it's 8
we
hours.
pay
8 hours.
Okay.
If they want more than that, they have to take vacation.
Okay. So it already is 8
it's-
hours.
So the holiday, and do you do that for bereavement too? Do they get 8 hours or
8.
12 hours?
8.
Okay.
But admin days, they get 12.
Whatever they work for that shift. If the sheriff's giving them an admin day for some reason, they get paid their shift, whatever their shift was.
So we're already at 8 hours.
But we probably need to
officially do it at 8 hours.
We need to officially do the holidays at 8 hours because the way our personnel policy is.
Okay.
Even though everybody's already been doing it.
Okay.
Just so we can get that implemented into the personnel policy. So everybody's.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we set our holiday hours at 8 hours a day.
Okay. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So that clarifies that.
That's done. Yep.
Okay. That was what okay.
Yeah.
Now what was else on our schedule?
And then admin days, you're doing what?
Days. Admin days. That would be
The extra days that you give us, we code it as admin.
okay.
Those are admin days, like the extra Christmas, the extra Thanksgiving.
Okay, so
the
they're
day
not all
before
holidays.
Thanksgiving.
Admin.
So do you have difference between Mr. Assessor between the
8 hours for admin days.
admin 8 hours for admin,
We give 8 hours for admin as well.
8 hours for admin, and you give
For the holidays that you give us, 8. For whatever reason, if they decide that a deputy needs to be off for some reason and we code it as admin, the sheriff wants them to take a couple days off, they get their regular work day, whether it be 10 or 12. If the sheriff's grants it, they get a 10 or 12.
If it's like an incredibly violent sex crime or something to where they have to go get checked out or whatever that may be, then it makes sense to give them the full.
Okay, so now I'm getting confused here.
So
because
we have
I think
our
you need to
admin
define
days
what an
and
admin
you
day is.
guys kind of have your admin days. Am I
I was
like
just
kind of have a separate
where they were talking about the extra days off. So
Right. Thanksgiving and the day before.
And those aren't
Thanksgiving.
called, well, they're just, they're holidays, right?
Yeah.
They're put into the system as admin days.
Yes, they have.
But you do them at 8 hours on those.
Yeah.
Correct.
We code
Okay.
it as admin.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing it 8 hours on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are extra holidays, but
Yeah.
labeled
Right.
as admin
Yeah,
days.
okay.
Right.
So those are 8 hours as well.
Mm-hmm. So like,
For-
right, just like your holidays.
Okay.
Yeah, our other admin days would be if the officer got in a shooting, if he was all of a sudden like, you might have them, they're
So
going to
that's
be
what-
investigated for
Mm-hmm.
something, and you're like, you're on admin
So
leave.
it's a
Yeah.
different.
Administrative
Your,
leave.
You're
that
gonna get paid your
admin is
12-hour
different.
days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So do you want me to make a motion for the admin days?
No, because they're
Because
holidays.
yeah, they are. They're part of
Yeah,
the holidays.
They're really holidays, so I
That's
think they're all,
yeah. It's all the same, 8
Mhm.
hours.
whether we
Mhm.
give them, they're extra holidays is
Yep.
what they are. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
You could motion that the actual admin days are paid at what you actually work. Just so if you want that
Well,
in the
because
policy.
I think over here the
Maybe
admin
if
days
you
are
refer to it as administrative leave, is that
Yeah,
what
that's
Yeah.
that's what yours guys'
Yes.
administrative leave.
Administrative
as opposed
leave.
to an admin day. They might be
Yep.
coded the same in the system, but
Okay.
for easier understanding,
Yes.
maybe.
yes.
Okay.
Because administrative leave is a
It's
lot
completely different. Yeah,
than this.
it's exactly okay.
Yep.
So do we need to do anything about it? Should we?
I wouldn't think so. I mean,
Okay.
as long as that's clarified right here, right
Yeah,
now, in the
administrative
meeting, that
and
everybody
admin
knows.
days are holidays, and administrative leave is completely
And
different.
maybe something extra that you guys could do, because you do meet, if you do gift the additional holidays, those admin days, maybe just when you're making your motion for those at the time of year, maybe specify that they are at 8 hours
Mhm.
I think,
compensation.
and I think what we're trying to do, because we're going to be working on personnel policy soon,
They'll be wrapped
we're going to
into
be
that.
folding all this into that.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's just kind of getting that clarity and having everybody on the same
Yep.
page.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's, so then we have 2 more things on here. Discuss shift differential pay.
Well, before we move too far off of this one, missing the shift prior to a holiday or missing a shift after. Do you still get paid the holiday if you dump the days before? Call in sick? I ask because we do have, you can track a few employees that tend to take their 3-day weekend and make it a 4. They're either sick the Friday before or the Monday after.
And are they taking their sick or their vacation or vacation pay or sick pay when they miss?
Yes.
Just thinking there's a difference between a planned absence and an unplanned absence.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ICRM training I went to. And that now if they planned ahead
Yeah.
with a vacation
Right.
and they were going to get paid with
Yeah.
that's different than calling in sick the day before
Mm-hmm.
and then wanting to get paid for it. And,
Mm-hmm.
And that's
But
what's
I
happening.
think that would be,
yeah.
that would be case by case. We probably
Yeah.
want to know that, so that, I mean, if it's happening, we want to know who it is, and so we can justify that. I don't know how we would write that into our policy.
And I don't want to police it. I'm not going to go out and take their temperature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, is that would be hard to, okay.
Yeah.
I just know other places that if you dump the day before or the day after, you don't get paid for the holiday.
Okay.
I think it might have been that way at the mine. I can't remember.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Most
to,
private sectors do that.
something to definitely, I guess we could table that one
Yeah.
and speak with ICRAMP on.
Yeah, let's do that.
And just kind of, that way we can kind of get some verbiage or what we can't do. So let's go
Yeah,
ahead
let's do
and
that.
table that one.
Okay.
Until further information.
Oops, sorry. Okay. The next one,
Shift differential.
shift differential pay.
So admin that are on our pay structure, you've got a couple that get a shift differential. If they come in like 15 minutes early, they're getting it.
Admin?
But clerical.
Oh,
The evidence tech.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we don't have that on our pay. So we need to either all do it or none of us do it.
And why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? That they come in early, they get a shift differential. What do you mean shift differential pay? Like
They get an extra, if they come in before, say, 7 o'clock in the morning, they get an extra certain amount, like 20, 30, I don't, you know better than I. What is?
I can't remember the exact, it's like 40 to 50
40
cents.
cents
Yeah,
per
40.
grave.
40
Yep.
cents for a graveyard, and that graveyard is from what time to what time?
I don't have the timesheet in front of
I
me.
know.
so
It's like-
it's really built for the officers for
Uh,
graveyard. It's
no,
not
not
built for.
necessarily, because if they're called, particularly evidence techs, if that's what we're talking about, that's what was mentioned, then it can be for if she's called out to the scene, it can be if she has to come in early to take care of evidence of whatever variety, because it's all on time restraints. So she might be coming in before 7 a.m., which is hard on the body and all those other things. The same reason shift differential even comes about for officers.
Well,
the sleep
when that
cycle and such.
happens, it needs to be marked. We need to know about it.
Oh, they
Is it-
write it. They write it down. I
Mhm.
mean, it's on, and they get paid. But that's what I'm trying to go about.
Is it just the evidence tech that we're doing this on?
There's a couple of them that have done it.
There should not, I'm not aware of
It's
anyone else.
it's very rare that it happens, but it does occasionally. It's just built into our pay structure that if you work from this time to this time, it's the day shift.
So
The swing shift and the night shift.
So how
The hours of operation.
how
hours that you're
early,
in.
how, like, do you have some examples of how early this employee may be coming in for that shift?
It goes from 6 to 7, which we've talked about adjusting our pay matrix to fix that a little bit, because most of the shifts run 6 to 6 instead of starting it at 7, which is something we maybe need to look at doing, which would probably alleviate 90% of that. But then what you run into is, I don't know, we've brainstormed ideas. It's probably something we need to table and figure out.
Okay.
Maybe coming up with one shift differential where you get paid 6 to 6 is the day shift in from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is your night shift, and just have one shift differential. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Work with power shifts and stuff.
What's that?
I don't know how to work with power shifts and so on.
Maybe power
What they're
shifts.
doing for that. The guys who come in under the swing, so they're overlapping both.
You'd still get some
Just
shift
for those
differentials.
hours.
And we're just talking about the ad.
I'm just
we're
talking
just talking
I
about
know.
the clerk.
clerical.
Yeah.
Clerical only.
Yeah.
That's on our pay
Yeah.
on our pay matrix.
So let's look into that further. I want to look around and see what other departments are doing with their evidence techs. I'll call around and I'll check that out, and then we'll get back. We'll come back and talk about it.
Because that's not on.
I think it'd be any of your civilian staff versus your sworn deputies. If other civilian staff's getting shift differential or not.
It would just be the evidence.
Is she the only one you're aware of?
No, there's another.
Who's the other?
It would have been Katie.
Katie?
Yeah,
No,
she.
it wasn't her.
No, and the other one would be Melissa.
We only have a few.
Never seen
so-
Melissa come in.
No. Unless she had a training or something, it could have.
Maybe that.
She could have once a year came in an hour early or something.
Well, right
like
now
that.
she's working in the afternoon.
If you could provide us with that information, that we could look.
Yeah,
into.
I'm not going to be talking personnel on
No, I know.
YouTube.
Well, we only got like 3 or 4 personnel, so that are in those positions
But-
that.
So I'll check on that. This is just to be for the evidence tech, and I will check on that, and then we'll get that part back on the calendar next week. And what else we got?
Well, we were discussing the comp hours and how so many we have
Okay.
of the 40 hours. But I believe kind of what I learned today is if somebody leaves today and they have 100 hours of comp time,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting paid out that 100 hours of comp time. Am I correct on saying that, Jeff?
Yes, legally we have to pay them because that's hours that they worked. That's compensation. Legally we have to pay them their comp hours.
But yet our policy says 40.
Okay.
We're only allowed to accrue 40 hours of compensatory time. That needs to be used in the 90 days unless we come in front of you
Mm-hmm.
and ask for an extension.
Okay, and that's what we're not doing, is come in front of us and ask them.
Well,
for extension.
and this is another thing. And it was my mistake that we caught this, is I didn't know we were supposed to do this, and I have yet to do that. But now, so say this person's got 100, 200, whatever hours that's been accruing from year after year or whatever. How many 2 years ago when they accrued it, it was for this wage.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're using it today. They've had a grade bump and they've had longevities, and so now
Right.
we're paying more. Hence the reason we had, I believe, I don't know this for certain, that you had a 90-day window of using
Right.
them. Now, I appreciate that we're going to have to do some wiggle here and figure this out, because you can't tell, the county would shut down if you said, okay, today, as of today, you have 90 days to use that. We wouldn't have an employee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really feel like that needs to get curbed.
Resolved.
Mhm.
Yes, because it's costing us money.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it could it could harm us if it got out of hand.
Oh, it's
And it says 40 hours
It's
in our personnel
in our
policy.
personnel. Unless a request for extension is approved by the supervisor, elected official, and the Board of County Commissions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, can we notify? I thought that we were going to
They
notify.
get that.
Okay, we'll notify each
They
elected.
get that every month. The
Okay. So we
department
need to
heads
make
and
sure the
elected
elected
officials.
official have the elected officials come in, and we'll have a meeting with the elected official with the board to discuss how many employees they have on that and what they're going to do
Mhm.
to reconcile those.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll so let's do
Yeah,
that.
because it's in the personnel policy,
Mhm.
not 40 hours.
So we can discuss that and have the elected official reconcile that with their employees to figure out how they're going to reduce it
Mhm.
and how we go forward.
Can we add something on that topic, just as far as, I don't care if it's a brainstorming thing, but just one extenuating circumstance for the sheriff's office, and that's K-9 deputies.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason being due to, if you want the laws, I can give them to you after or during, but the case laws that came about, we give K-9 deputies 15 hours of comp time each month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
For a
that.
lot of agencies pay that out, or a lot of regions pay it out, because else that could be difficult getting those two individuals under that amount of time. That's just something to think about.
Yep, I know, that's, I remember that policy.
And so just a
That's
little
for the
food for
dog
thought
training.
from my department. With us, ours is more like the bulk of our work and overtime and comp time accrued happens in the wintertime. Obviously, we just have to go when we go. I brought this. This sheet is the employee accrual balances that's distributed in the payroll packets that Tammy sends out that the department head or elected officials have to sign. And so as department heads or elected officials, we should be reviewing these before we sign to say we agree. So we should be all in the know every month of where our employees are at. But just to show you, like, when circumstances dictate rather than policy what happens, this is our latest one. We do have 2 employees in the comp. We have one gentleman with 113 hours. We have another gentleman with 263 hours. If you are familiar with these 2 employees, they are the only 2 employees in the Marble Creek District. And so I pulled out some timesheets where, we have them actively trying to use that time. So we have one gentleman that had, the last month he used 20 hours of his comp time, so he took 20 hours off, 2 days off. But in that month he's had call outs. So he then accrued another 20 hours. And so we do have, in the wintertime, it is nothing for employees, particularly that district. The other ones, as you can see, everybody else is where they need to be or under. In that district, and it's going to be the same because we're not budgeted for more people. I have several timesheets where they've worked 60 or 70 hours. That's not even, the time and a half if it's comp time. Usually they will split that evenly between overtime and comp time as to not completely break our budget on the overtime. But then the comp accrues it at time and a half. And so it is going to be extremely difficult for these 2 employees to get down to that 40. Well, so there are, sometimes in departments, circumstances like that.
Take people from other, can you run people up to that department and have people work a shift?
So now we're getting into our prepping for winter,
Yeah,
and later, like moving forward, we definitely can do that. Where it becomes problematic is, we have a lot of employees where, if you're working 40, 50, 60 overtime hours or extra hours, they've got some comp time to work down too. And so then we're grossly understaffed sending them down there. So it does become a little bit complicated, not with all the employees. As you can see, some of the numbers are good, but some of the supervisors or, if they don't have a lead, they're not able to take as much time off. And in the wintertime, we really don't allow pre-scheduled vacations because we need them to be on call, ready to go. And so the time of the year, they don't have 12 months to use that. They've got 6 months maybe. So, we do our best. Every time we have a supervisor meeting, we look at these accrual sheets are sent out to all of the supervisors so they know exactly where their employees lie. We do our best to manage it, but I do know that it is in direct conflict with the personnel policy.
Okay, I think as long as we're aware of it, and then if we can mitigate that in the future when we hopefully get more,
fingers crossed,
more employees, when things turn around, we could start helping with that. Look at other avenues.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to do that? Go ahead and pick the ones that are well over, and then have discussion with each of the elected officials come in, and we'll discuss a plan. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Can we get those?
You want to
let?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. I can get that to you.
Okay. And Sydney, you'll want to set that up for us. And
do you want to do one meeting with all or a meeting with each?
What do you think? All or each, or?
Well, it depends on how many departments, I guess, we're talking about.
Roads, planning and zoning, sheriff's office, and maintenance. 4.
Yeah, we only really have 3
Okay.
deputies to
Okay,
that are accruing comp,
Okay.
maybe 4.
okay.
So,
And that's, and with your lower staff in the jail, it's probably gonna get worse again.
yeah,
That's the hard part when you're, especially the roads department. It's-
And for us, something we could look at next year also, because this is, a chronic problem. Every year we ask the commissioners to do a resolution for the extension for us. And every year since I've been here in 2019, the commissioners have graciously allowed that. But the other thing to consider is increasing, not this budget, but next budget, talk about increasing the overtime and, maybe they take more overtime pay than they do comp. We do the comp to try to save on the budget a little bit.
Yeah, because overtime will give you more, I like that.
Because then, that's how much. But then again, we do get to the point where some years we have rough winters and, they might work 50 hours a week, whereas sometimes they'll work 60 hours a week, and then other times they'll work 40 hours a week. So it's harder to
I
project
believe
that.
I only just have the 2.
Yeah, those
in
are the
your-
only
right.
the only 2 that
And
are
that's
over. Everybody
surprising.
else
I
is
thought
40
there
or
would be
less.
more in
We
the-
do have some that are up there on vacation, but vacation is very clearly spelled out in the personnel policy.
Yeah.
It's 120, and I've had we talk 3-4 times a year with all of our employees, and we say, if you don't get that down, you are really gambling with your hours, because we've had several that have left in the last few years where they've had to
didn't get
forfeit 80 hours of
Yeah.
it. It's 120, and that's it, because that's in policy in black and white.
Right, and that's the same way with the sick. Is it just the machine just stops?
Yeah, the machine stops. Yeah.
Giving it to you. So
Yeah, and they don't take that when
No,
they go.
no,
that
no,
they forfeit that.
you're
So
correct.
So maybe we just have a meeting with all then.
Okay,
Just get it all
do that,
done.
Sydney, and we'll
yeah.
get the list, and we'll get a meeting with
Yeah.
all of them, and
I just
So
know
it's
that when
4.
we're accruing, we're at 1 wage. When they're taking,
and that,
Yeah.
that's,
it could very well
that's
be
right. That's right.
$1 or 2 more
and it's almost
that we didn't. I mean, and that's we need to get a handle on that.
and it's almost impossible to track that.
You can't.
Whereas like the example I gave you, he's accrued 20, he's used 20. Did he use the
So-
old 20, the new
Yeah.
20?
That's right.
It's really it's hard to say.
Yeah, it would be a,
Those Avery
Mm-hmm.
employees, they're somehow I don't even know, but we do need to do some kind of not maybe extension, but an amendment
For
for
that district
that
specifically.
district
Yeah,
for-
because you
Yeah.
can see on paper, I
Yeah.
mean, every
Yeah.
other district is
Yeah.
where we need to be, and the other ones aren't, and their
Yeah.
timesheets reflect that. It's, the call outs with the trees
and then
and the
perhaps
extra
the
hours.
two officers that handle the drug
The
dog.
canines.
yeah.
Is that what they call them? Drug dog?
Canine.
Canine. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. I knew that when I said it wasn't right. Thank you. So the canine. So maybe we can do some kind of amendment for those
For
2,
those
but
2
everybody else
particular.
needs to get in line
Okay.
Yeah.
and get it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you agree? Do you
With-
agree? I mean, with that, I mean, I don't know. Am I overthinking it with getting it 1 day and then getting paid a different amount if it's a year or 2 down the road, right?
If you're keeping track of it, I don't have a problem with it.
Right. Right.
I can see where it'd be problematic trying to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
We
couldn't
just
be
got to
done.
figure out how to
Yeah.
get them down and get this.
Okay.
Yeah. Leveled out.
Yeah, because
But if we could have the affordability to make sure they're using their comp time in a timely manner, that wouldn't be an issue. But like you alluded, if you say, okay, you gotta use your comp up in 90 days, come at 80 days, you're gonna
we're not gonna have,
Mhm, yeah.
oh, if,
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah.
Lori, do
Yeah.
you know of, so I know one method is just a lot of agencies and whatnot paid out at the end of every year to prevent what you're talking about from happening, and especially in a county that has a lot of staffing problems across the board. Would that solve both issues with less work on all the administrators, or is that
Well,
even
I
doable?
wouldn't
might
do
not
it
be
at the end of
doable.
the year. I would think if that's something that wants to be discussed, then at the end of your 90 days. Well, no, because the reason we're doing it is to save money, because we don't have the money to pay them out.
That's right.
Mhm.
So, but if that's something we need to you guys want to look at, then we don't want to do it for the year. We want to do it within the 90 days. If you don't use your comp time by this day, then we'll pay you at this.
Or
If that's
hypothetically.
Needs to be
We'll
looked
pay-
at if we're still saving money doing it, because the staffing shortages is like hard to. Even you got a lot of our patrol staff, especially, has got like over 200 hours of vacation too. They can't even use.
Right.
It's like
Because they've been filling in
they're just
at the detention, is that?
And the caseload we've had has been outrageous lately, so we're about to have to start attempting to force vacation and have absolute
Yeah.
bare minimum staffing just to do vacation, not
Yeah.
get alone cop.
Well, they need to take their vacations, and I know it puts you as leaders in a predicament, but it is their time, and they need to be able to use it without feeling guilt. And that's hard. We have that going on here too. Like, oh, if I go, then that means they're going to be alone, and but it's. I agree with you on that. It's very hard.
Okay, is there anything further?
I think we
No,
got.
we're gonna, so we'll come back on the,
Well, on the, where we tabled one to get more information through iCramp for
Missing a
Missing a
shift
shift
prior,
yeah,
before or
after
after.
a holiday.
and then
So
the
that
evidence
one's-
clerk,
Yep.
and then,
And then we have the comp,
comp. Okay,
which we're gonna have a meeting
yeah,
with.
Comp with meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
with all those that have employees with.
Did we touch on the bereavement?
Oh, yes, we didn't speak on that.
Well, like bereavement hours,
Yeah.
same,
just
it's just gonna be 8.
Mhm.
That's what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I heard and what is actuals.
Okay. If there's anything further, public questions?
No.
Nobody? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.